Last time you survived ancient Rome, lead pipes, gladiators, political assassinations. You crawled through history like a cockroach with sandals. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, congratulations. It's 1347. You have spawned in Europe. There is no aqueduct. There is no empire. There is only vibes and fleas. Welcome to the Black Death. Character spawn. Let's establish your build. You are not a noble. You are not royalty. You are a medieval peasant. Because statistically you always are. You live in a one-room wooden hut. You sleep next to your family. And possibly your goat, which is convenient. Because in about 3 months, everyone in this room is going to die. Level 1, the arrival. It starts quietly. Merchant ships arrive from the east. They bring silk, spices, and a surprise bacterial expansion pack called Yersinia pestis. The year is 1347. The plague enters Europe through ports in Italy. Within a few years, it spreads across the continent. No one knows what germs are. They think disease is caused by bad air, angry God, or suspicious minorities. All 3 explanations will be used aggressively. Level 2, symptoms unlocked. First, fever, then chills, then swollen lymph nodes. Huge, painful, blackened. These are called buboes. They appear in your armpits, groin, and neck. They leak, they rot, they smell like medieval regret. Then internal bleeding begins. Dark blotches form on the skin, which is why people later call it the Black Death. Mortality rate? Somewhere between 30% and 60% of Europe. Imagine every other person you know. Now flip a coin. Heads, alive. Tails, dead. That's the vibe. Level 3, medical expertise. Doctors wear bird masks. Yes, those plague doctor outfits. Long beaks filled with herbs. Because they believe disease travels through miasma. Bad air. The beak is essentially a medieval air freshener. Treatment options include bloodletting, leeches, praying harder, not bathing, especially not bathing. Water opens the pores, you see, which lets the disease in. So congratulations. You are sick, unwashed, and being stabbed with leeches. Level 4, social collapse. The plague spreads fast. Entire villages disappear. Priests die. Doctors die. Grave diggers die. At one point, there aren't enough living people to bury the dead. Mass graves become common. Carts roll through towns collecting bodies. Bring out your dead is not a joke. It's Tuesday. Trade stops. Farms fail. Food shortages follow. Civilization begins buffering. Level 5, blame DLC. When people don't understand something, they look for someone to blame. Jews are accused of poisoning wells. Pogroms erupt across Europe. Thousands are massacred. Others are forced to flee. Because when a continent is dying, why not add religious violence? Some groups take a different route. The flagellants, bands of people who travel town to town, whipping themselves publicly to atone for humanity's sins, which is impressive commitment, but medically ineffective. Level 6, the strange upside. Here's where things get interesting. You survived. Statistically unlikely, but let's assume you did. Half the workforce is gone. Labor is now rare, which means peasants suddenly have leverage. Wages increase. Feudalism weakens. Land becomes available. Your bargaining power rises simply because everyone else is dead. It's the worst LinkedIn strategy in history. But economically, you just got a promotion. Level 7, authority panic. Kings and nobles do not like this. Workers demanding higher wages? That's not medieval canon. So laws are passed to freeze wages. to prevent mobility, to stop peasants
More
from
demands
leaving their
from the castle.
lords. Because nothing says divine right of kings, like wage caps during mass extinction. Some regions see uprisings. Peasants' revolts ignite in England and France. The old system is cracking, not because of ideology, because of bacteria. Level 8, your personal survival plan. Let's build your strategy. 1. Avoid cities. Population density equals death speed run. 2. Avoid fleas. Good luck. 3. Avoid rats. Even better luck. 4. Avoid other humans. Now you're getting it. 5. Hope you're genetically lucky. There is no vaccine, no antibiotics, no understanding of contagion. You survive because RNG favors you, not because you were smart. Level 9, psychological damage. Imagine watching your family die, your neighbors vanish, your priest collapse mid-sermon. The world feels apocalyptic. Many believe this is the end times. Art becomes darker, religion intensifies, death becomes casual. You grow up faster, because everyone does. When 40% of society disappears, childhood ends early. Final boss, aftermath. By 1353, the first wave slows. Europe has lost tens of millions of people. Entire regions are depopulated. But history shifts. Feudalism weakens. Urban wages rise. New social classes form. And over time, the Renaissance begins to stir. Out of catastrophe, restructuring, out of mass death, modernity, which is a very dramatic way of saying Europe had to uninstall half its population to update its operating system. Survival stats. Mortality rate, 9 out of 10. Medical knowledge, 1 out of 10. Religious panic, 10 out of 10. Economic reshuffle, surprisingly high. Personal comfort, absolutely not. Would you respawn here? Only if you enjoy. Buboes, social collapse. And coin flip survival odds. Black Death, 2 out of 10 stars. Great for long-term labor reform. Terrible for being alive. Last episode, Rome fell. This episode, Europe almost did. Next time, maybe we'll try something lighter, like the Mongol invasions. Spawn history. Games have never been fair.